You know, I mean, Limeade knows more than enough about not taking your time.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but in like you guys are very aggressive.
Yes.
Generally, you move together very quickly. You blink and it's over. I think you guys enjoy Clam Blitz in general and just moving up and locking out. I mean,
Clam Blitz is the best.
yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, like, if people played zones only, I will complain till the end of the world that it's boring. But if people played clams only,
True.
I'd probably be on board, you know?
Mm-hmm. True. My least favorite part about zones is that how the game ends with like everyone's just like sitting at zone and being like waiting for the counter to tick down. You know,
Yeah.
the games end anticlimactically.
Yeah.
I love big pushes and
Yeah.
scoring power clams and moving all around the map and just having a good time.
Now, zones can end excitingly if it's, like,
Yes.
super contested.
Everyone's just like over the zone with each other.
And you're like, oh, God, who's got more paint? Oh, no.
Yeah, it's funny. I like zones. I feel like the game has a lot more to offer than zones.
I agree. And that's why clams is the best. And if you're
Heck
in
yeah.
chat, I'm not looking, so you're wrong. Clams is better.
I will grab you.
Excellent. So it looks like our next pool is starting to get organized. And while they're doing that, you know, there's quite a few people here already. Yesterday the room was a bit crowded with the setup. It looks like they've rearranged it a little bit today. There's a lot more seating room in front of the screen, which is really nice, especially once we get into around finals. There's going to be a lot of people wanting to watch. We have more chairs now. We have more room for people to do that without blocking things like the TO desk, which was a big problem yesterday. So it's really nice to see how they've changed the setup just to adapt to day 2.
Yeah, I mean, the TO desk was like by the stands and stuff, so everyone wanted to watch the matches, but everyone also was like, hey, TO, we won.
Or like, hey, TO, can I buy a poster?
Can I buy a poster?
And
yeah,
it was getting a little cluttered.
The poster is
crowded.
beautiful this year.
It's so gorgeous.
I don't know if we have a picture, production does, but it's a great picture. Also,
it's definitely on Twitter. I have to wave to a player. Yeah, it's beautiful. And the fun thing this year, too, is they brought back old posters from other lands. So, like, I didn't get to go to Big House. And the poster for Big House was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous. So I managed to pick one up here. So, I mean, it's not signed by everybody, but it's gorgeous. It's beautiful, and I wanted one anyway. So it works out.
Yeah, our collection grows by the LAN, and it looks like we're going to be seeing Acropora and Oceanos here. I think you're more than familiar with Acropora. What can you tell me about them?
They change day to day. So fun fact, my teammate actually coaches this team. So I have quite a bit of insight. Actually, lately this is Mothman we see on camera here, lovely person, has been playing Nautilus, is normally a backliner, mains things like Splatlings. But this LAN has been playing a lot of Nautilus, which is really interesting to see from them. I hadn't seen it before, and has been going really well for them. We have Skep also plays a little bit more of the support role. I've seen lately, I'm not entirely sure what they're going to be picking up this time, but I've seen things like Splashomatic. I've seen things like Neo Splashomatic largely, Flingza coming out from them as well. I don't know. It's not bad. And then we have of course Secant. Secant is a dually player, largely. So you'll get to see a lot of Tetras, excitingly, and some hopefully some classic dualies as well, because their other player, Rush, has been also picking up dualies as well as shooters. So a very aggressive, fast-paced, moving composition that they've been running lately, which is really, really fun.
Yeah, I think I saw them running like Tetra and Vanilla dualies yesterday.
Yeah.
I think Secant also likes Nova. I don't know if he plays Nova like with the team, but... I hope to see some more Nova at some point.
I'm not sure that we'll see Nova, but that would be exciting. I would love to. Let me flick through my book here. Oceanos, we actually studied a little bit last night because my team is potentially playing them. So this is more recon for me.
Nice.
It's very exciting. We were watching them play. They're surprisingly good. They were playing yesterday on stream, if anyone was watching, against Smoothie. And they did surprisingly well. Like, Smoothie almost lost the first couple games to Oceanos.
Wow.
So they were doing really well. And Smoothie's such a big name, very aggressive team. So for Oceanos to almost take 2 games from them was really impressive to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Smoothie, I think we'll see later in top 16.
I'm sure.
But yeah, they were certainly a very commanding, aggressive team. So Oceanos has got to be a fairly solid team. Unfortunately, I'm not super familiar with who's on it at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We didn't get the data on them, unfortunately.
Sad.
But do you recall from your VOD review sessions?
I honestly don't. It was pretty late last night, like right before the fire pit. So if you're asking me to remember things, it's going to be difficult. We might have to wait for them to get up on stage or until production flashes their rosters. But it looks like they're coming up on stage now, so that'll get exciting. We'll be able to keep a better eye on what's going on.
Oh, is that OBT?
I believe so.
Let's see, OBT. Who do we have here?
Yeah, very exciting. I'm pumped to see this set. Like I said, it's partially because it's
Oh, here come the chants.
it's partially because it's I mean, this is good recon for me for later.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a good set. Ooh, we got the Splatoon leggings coming out.
Ooh.
We have the Splatfest t-shirts on the other side. There's a lot of people just wearing Splatoon merch. A lot of those Splatfest tees, they're really cool.
And a lot of jerseys and stuff too. It's so cool to see so many team jerseys and shirts.
Yeah, like Acropora has one, Smoothie has one, Kingmaker has one,
Jelly Squids
has one. Yeah, there's so many teams that are just rocking their branding and rocking like, you know, they're having a good time and they're like prepared for the LAN.
I absolutely love it. Like I remember just back in the day, like there were so few teams, like almost everything would be a pickup. But places like this, we still have a lot of pickups. Don't get me wrong, but there's so many more teams nowadays playing at LANs, which is just always the best feeling. To get the group of people you play with online and bring them with you in person is such a beautiful feeling.
Yeah. Also, Starburst is here.
Well, yes, that too.
Also, Starburst is here. We'll see. You'll see enough of them later today, I'm sure. But yeah, there's so many full teams coming out, especially those college teams. It's really great. Man, now I'm just itching to play Splatoon.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And we don't get to play for a few more hours. Like for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it's a little while from now, but I want to say it can't come quick enough, but I want to just soak it in.
Well, it can't come quick enough, but at the same time, I also just like I don't want it to end, you know? And once we get into top 16, it means we're close to ending. And that's no fun. Gotta keep going forever. We're never leaving the LAN. Turns out this LAN is perpetual. Welcome to LTC, the perpetual LAN.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
As long as we can eat outside the Kalahari.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. They're gonna start a shuttle service that will go around to a bunch of popular restaurant areas, and then we'll just do that the whole time.
Ooh.
It's perfect.
Yum.
I see nothing wrong with this.
I don't see anything wrong with this.
Yeah.
And everyone is just everyone brings out the fashion. Splatoon. Okay, so Splatoon, like, I'm pretty sure it just like got everyone off their butts to like start dressing better.
Yeah, which
it's kind of awesome. Everyone here at the Splatoon LAN has the best drip, has creative outfits and colors, and the team jerseys and stuff. And
when you play a game as fashionable as Splatoon, you can't just come in like sweatpants.
That's true.
You have to come looking great.
If you don't wear the exact same clothes as your Inkling, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I actually can do that now. I wanted to. The Nintendo store released that manatee swag sweat.
Oh.
I wear that on my Neo Splash build, and I wanted to get it to bring it to LAN, but there was no way it was going to arrive in time to Canada from the Nintendo store. So there was no shot I could get it in time, but I really, really wanted to.
Do you still wear the like the devil horns
they're
on?
not in this game anymore.
Oh, they're not? Oh, man.
Sorry, they're not in this game yet. So unfortunately, I have to wear some like really cool hats. But
yeah,
there's
a lot of cool hats.
Listen, Halloween's coming up this year,
true.
So maybe they'll like re-release some of the old Halloween gear, some new Halloween gear. I just want the devil horns back. They're my brand.
Yeah. Oh, what clothes do I miss? I think a lot of the clothes I like from like Splat 2 and 1 are in the game so far, which is really cool.
They brought a lot of them back pretty quickly.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I think A lot of the glasses they brought back I really like.
Yeah, and a lot of like honestly the hats and the shoes that are in the game are really nice. It took a little bit for me at least for shirts that I liked to come back through, but there's quite a few now. So like my C Junior build is a little bit scuffed because the shirt doesn't go with the outfit, which is really unfortunate. I just didn't have time to coordinate it before LAN, which is really sad. But my Neo Splash build looks super cute, and my Orange Zap build also super cute. It's also nice to have more than one build in this game.
Yeah, it is.
Endgame Splatoon 2, I had literally one build that I ran constantly.
Oh, yeah. It's very nice to be able to switch. At the same time, I think I played like 5 different weapons yesterday, and I don't have builds for 3 of them.
Oh my god.
So I'm just mix and matching weapon, or sorry, the gear. I need to make them and save them as freshest fits, but I'm running out of freshest fits.
That's a problem too.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
does all of Acropora have tattoos on their
They're not
arm?
tattoos, it's marker.
Oh, okay. I was like, holy carp.
To my knowledge, at least, I'm fairly sure it's marker, but it's so cool. And it looks so nice. Like, they got that cool 3D effect by using, like, a gray to contrast the black. It looks really neat.
They've got the Microsoft Word 3D text.
Yeah. To my knowledge, actually, the partner of Mothman made that logo as well. So
oh, nice.
That's really neat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I believe that is Kello. If
Yes.
I think, is it Hello Kello Art on Twitter,
Yeah,
I think?
yeah. And now that we actually see the roster for
Yes.
Oceanos, I'm remembering, OBT, Wug, Mr. Lee, and Moo, players that I'm familiar with just from being around, super nice people. And then OBT, lovely person, I actually warmed up with him yesterday because my team was warming up without me, and I just needed a place to sit down. And he was like, "Hey, Lily, get over here, warm up with us." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, excellent."
Nice.
Super nice people. I love them all. Everyone on the stage, like, they're all nice people. I'm fairly sure they're all friends. They're all around the same level and competitive, right? So they probably know each other. And sets like that are always the best, too.
Yeah, I think Wugs with IPL, aren't they?
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe they help with some IPL TOing or production behind the scenes. I believe the Moo might also do that.
Could be.
The IPL team is just growing and growing and growing. And they're going to just be the IPL conglomeration is going to take over the entire world. I think the staff's going to be like the size of a small nation soon enough.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, that's good for the scene, right? Get more and more people experienced in TOing and production, and they split off and make their own organizations, and then they join 7 other organizations. So everyone's on 8 different orgs together, and they all run some fun events.
Yeah, and I mean, IPL's the one helping put this on, so they've done a great job, and I believe yesterday's stream was like really good.
It was fantastic. I watched some of it from my room. I just like needed a break from the crowds for a little bit, so we went back up to the room to eat some food and just like watched stream from there, and it was lovely.
Yeah, and so many of the sets were exciting yesterday, and I think they're probably only going to get better today because I mean, Redemption's going to be very close. I think Silver was pretty competitive as well. Top Cut in particular has a lot of teams, wink wink nudge nudge, that are around similar skill levels, like Starburst, and then there's like 8 teams where you don't know. I don't know who's going to beat who.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday with Lux about how seeds 2 through 8 are just a mixed bag. Like, you have no idea who's going to come out on top in there.
Yeah, but we are going into Redemption Round 2. We're going to see who's going to make it out into Top Cut to take the final 8 spots. We do see that double dually comp coming out of Acropora, and we see the Forge Pro coming out from Mr. Lee. Really interesting pick with that Booyah Bomb, and I believe this is going to be Tower Control on Undertow Spillway. And that Booyah Bomb certainly going to prove very useful for stopping the tower here.
Really fun to see things like that V Junior and the Forge Pro. Definitely not weapons you see very often in competitive, but we've seen quite a few juniors on LAN as well, and not so many Forge Pros yet. Yeah,
a lot of dedicated junior mains. They're all coming together. Most of them have gone to the Splash dark side, but there's a few dedicated ones still playing out there. We got Seekant trying to move. God,
Rush.
Rush, yes. I couldn't read that for a second
okay.
there. Rush moving up on the left side, but now 2 down, going for down on Acropora. So Oceanos is going to try a start a push of their own. This pro moving up on the right side, not able to find the pick just yet. The Tetra's going to scoot away. The tower's going to roll into that second checkpoint, and that looks like it's going to be the checkpoint unless Acropora can pull something off.
I see Ken getting that beautiful slide in to get a pick, but unfortunately also going down to the Booyah Bomb. Crab coming out on top right, able to get a couple picks before going down, maybe? Yeah, there we go. And this tower is honestly still trucking ahead. Oceanos doing a really good job of not relinquishing the control that they have. We talk a lot about the right to back up. Like, you have to fight for the right to hold ground in this game. You cannot give it up preemptively. It's just not, there's too many choke points that you have to work back through if you do that. And Oceanos is doing a really good job of just keeping this tower on this left-hand side and fighting for this space.
Yeah, Dooley's trying to shred the Booyah Bomb, not able to do it in time. And we've just been seeing this Forge Pro as well as the Machine doing so much work over here on the left side. The Crab Tank trying to stop the tower. There's a big pole in the middle. They're dancing around it and going to be able to block most of that damage. And now Oceanos, with no need to push the tower further without, by risking themselves, they're going to just take their time, wait for Acropora to just feed into them. And they are able to get a few picks on the board. Now with the bombs on the tower, it's going to be slowed down, but this tower is going to continue rolling. The Doolies are all that stands in between this pro and the end, and the tower is going to continue rolling on, and Oceanos sweeps away game 1.
Beautiful use of those bubbles. Bubble is a really risky special to use in the current meta. There's so many Booyah Bombs and Trip Strikes that just completely shred it. Kraken goes straight through it. It's just so easy to demolish with the current setup of the meta specials. So to be able to see it come out and not get instantly Trip Striked every 2 seconds, it gives me hope as a junior player that maybe someday I might be able to play it again.
Heck yeah. I mean, you're one of the most prolific junior players out there. I think that Junior is a very good weapon in general, and really just Bubble just kind of being like a symptom of all the other specials going around.
Yeah.
It's struggling a bit. It still has that kind of niche as a, tower checkpoint getter, force your enemy to use a special, also pop a bubble, get 1 pick, and that's the value your special gets. It's very useful, and it's still a really good weapon. It's maybe slightly pushed out by a few other things going around, but
it even really works as a distraction. You can pop it up and it pulls attention because people are like, I need that down. That is dangerous. People jump into it. People can abuse that space. We need to get rid of it. So it's also really good to be able to pop a bubble and move away from it to attract people to it. And just, I love doing things like that, and I wish I could do it right now. I think it just needs a little bit of a buff, maybe, or to receive less damage from things like Trip Strike. It's good to have counters to it. I just feel like right now there's a few too many counters to it.
Yeah. It always feels like it's a bubble. When it starts raining, it should block from that. The strikes come from above. It should shield you.
Right. And I mean, it shields against things like missiles. So if we see a really big missile meta come back, if they release a weapon maybe next patch coming soon that is maybe a shooter with missiles on it that everyone's hoping won't happen, but probably will, we might see a resurgence of things like Bubble just because of its blocking potential.
Oh, which weapon would it be? Is it going to be Nova? That's the dark side.
Honestly. I mean, as long as it's not something like a Splash, I think the meta will still be healthy.
Yeah. They're running out of the shooters to give extra specials to. But now into game 2, we're going to see if Acropora can bounce back. Now in a non-tower control mode where that double dually comp may give them that faster pace that may help them here on Rainmaker. Mothman on that knot still is going to be just providing consistent pressure, especially across that mid. It's going to be very useful here on Hagglefish.
We're going to have to see if Oceanos makes use of the frequent flanks on this map. I feel like Rainmaker's a little less flank heavy just because you don't spend as much time in mid as you do in the other modes. But it's still definitely flank heavy. A lot of fights around these left and right sides leading into this court area. But it looks like so far Oceanos is doing a really good job of just brute forcing straight forward. Yeah, something I've been loving recently is that people are going left on Rainmaker. It's a very good option, but if the entire team's waiting for you, that's still going to be very difficult to
push. Acropora stops the Rainmaker, but now on this second attempt, they look like they're going to grab it. The checkpoint goes to Oceanos, and they're continuing to try and push here. The Crab Tank was not able to find a pick, so now Seekit trying to get one. They're able to slow them down a bit, but the Rainmaker's going to roll all the way up to 10 points left. Huge push up on that left side from Oceanos.
Absolutely massive, and that's the dangerous part of that left push, is points are so hard to get, but they just have a complete opening, such full paint. I mean, pushing to 10 on this map, that's really hard to come back from.
Yeah, absolutely, but this is Hagglefish. As if you can make that jump onto the enemy plat, the points go so quickly. Now, Acropora have that Inkling to move on the left side on their own. They run it over there, but they get stopped immediately. Now a 2-down situation. Acropora trying to stop it. The Seekins holding that Reef Slider, looking for an opportunity to go in. They're not able to find it. The machine that stops them in mid. And Oceanos is doing a great job locking down not just mid, but all sides of the map, stopping Acropora from moving through at all.
Yeah, I think this is a situation where Acropora just needs to breathe a little bit and take some time to paint the map before they start moving that Rainmaker too far forward. I think they're trying to skip that step a little bit. I think they're getting to 10, right? Makes you a little antsy. You have so much ground you need to cover. Oh boy, that bubble just protecting that, everyone down. I'm over here talking about how Acropora needs to retake mid, and we're already in spawn. Ignore me.
Yeah, wow. That was like such a quick push back into the enemy plat. Oceanos just got control of mid and moved up so quickly. I didn't expect such a strong push so quickly from them, but they were able to really make it happen. And we saw how key that jump was to it. They got on the jump, they had the bubble down to protect the team and just defend that area. Once you're able to like lock down that area, it can be so hard to stop the Rainmaker. You kind of need to dive for it with your body to stop it.
I mean, let's say the fun thing about Junior on that map, too. You pop a bubble on that cross, it's so hard to stop people from doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's certainly a very good spot for that bubble, but without anyone like on the tent, it's very difficult to stop that push.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they just managed to get a great rollout in there and great picks on Acropora. There was no one up to stop them. So, I mean, so far Oceanos is looking incredibly strong.
Yeah, I mean, they've been lights out so far, as we're going to be moving on to our third map of Redemption Round 2, which is going to be Clams on Scorch. Maybe a little bit less fast-paced, but I'd say a more, kind of slower, concerted game. It's going to be about getting all those clams in mid, not taking bad wipes, because we know that a bad wipe on Scorch can be a huge lockout, and of course, trying to just hold your ground there while your team brings the rest of the clams in.
Yeah, and Scorch is really one of those maps where the clam spawns are so spread out, so separated, and the routes you have to take them to go get them are quite long. So it's one of those maps where you have to optimize locking pods in order to optimize spawns closer to baskets so you can keep the basket open longer. It's a weird balance to have to try to hold, and it can take pushes a little while to get going on this map.
Yeah, there is the one funny pod that spawns right by the basket, which is very nice when that happens, and that's part of what the optimizing those clams is going to help with here. We actually see Mothman switch off the Nautilus onto the custom jet sculpture, which has been getting pretty popular recently. That's going to slow down Oceanos a bit. The mist may help with that, and as well, it could help with the paint with that Inkstorm to support.
Yeah, we love to see that mist here too. This area Mothman has just died in is one of those biggest areas you have to defend on this map. If you lose control of that area, you've completely lost control of everything, and you need to take steps to regain it. This is such an important aspect of the map, and hopefully Mist will help maintain some control here.
Mr. Lee sneaking through the mist, able to throw a few more clams into the basket. Already the counter down to 65. All members of Oceanos up. Seekant looking to stop the clams coming in from mid, but they're not going to be able to do that. But thankfully, Acropora, with those triple ink strikes, is going to clear out the basket, and Oceanos is going to opt to retreat here. Only going 2 members down. That's going to give them time to paint up the map and get defensive, but now Wug's the only one left. They're going to need to paint up the map and defend this right side. Acropora getting a lot of picks on the board. Clams are coming up for Acropora, but they need to make something happen quickly, or Oceanos is going to get back.
There are a ton of clams open and active right now on the map too. Acropora just needs to move a little bit faster, I think, to pick them up and get moving. Skep over here on the right side, only missing one, thrown one from a player off screen, is going to go down with that open. But, I mean, man, 68 push. Seekant going to go down in there. Mothman backing up to try to maintain some of this defense from top mid. Beautiful place to do it from with that mist as well. We'll have to see if they can maintain some of this map control as well.
Yeah, that one. That's not going to be enough to take back the lead. It's going to put them relatively close, though. Acropora is going to need just a couple power clams to take that back. Now 2 down onto Oceanos. A couple of picks being found. Acropora is moving a lot quicker this time, but unfortunately, Rush goes down. Seekin trying to find that extra pick on the board. They're able to do it, but they don't have enough for a power clam just yet. They're going to scramble for one here. So many bombs. Look at all these bombs. They're going to survive somehow. The Reslider is going to lead the way in, but that's not going to let the power clam survive. Skep does pick up those droppings, and that means that they're going to get an extra power claim, and that's going to be the lead. Acropora backing off in this last situation. Rush moving back. Oceanos is going to storm back into mid, paint up that left side, try and get something going of their own, but it looks like Rush is going to be able to get that trap tank and stop all of that momentum.
We love to see that. Rush, I wasn't sure wouldn't survive that interaction, but managed to distract and stall long enough, popping the crab tank too, just long enough to get their team back into mid. Now we are 2 down on Acropora, so things are going to have to stall it a little bit here, but Oceanos still has a bunch of clams they have to pick up before they can think about making a push.
Yeah, nicely timed strike there, but that, oh my god, Skep barely evades that Booyah Bomb, but those well-timed strikes are going to slow Oceanos down a bit. That means that they're going to need to build up some clams, and once you have too many clams on the board, people know exactly where you're going to come from. Both teams have been opting to take this side very frequently, and yep, here we go. Mr. Lee trying to take that left side for a flank, for an off ankle, but they're not going to be able to get it. Acropora smartly watching it, and now Mr. Lee is going to find themselves in a bit of an awkward position, running out of paint here. They're going to just try and get some clams on the board, but you can see Acropora has just set up such a strong defense here while the crabs battle in mid and Moo gets taken out.
What I love to see too, Acropora was holding about 13 clams and not making a football. That keeps the game in this state where it thinks there's still plenty of clams out there and it doesn't activate an accelerated spawn time. So things are still moving at a regular pace instead of a fast pace because the spawns aren't quickened because of the lack of clams on the board. They did a beautiful job stalling that out in mid. They're still holding about 12.
Oh my god. Car meets shark, and that's going to cancel each other out. So both teams... Yeah, there's a Booyah meets shark. But anyways, this crab on the left side is going to be huge. Absolutely massive. That off angle is going to let the power clam come in behind it. The super jump comes in. That's going to be a few clams on the board, and the lead going back to Oceanos. Now with the lead in hand, they're going to get those clams in from mid, and Acropora is going to have to shut them out. Moo on the left side is going to be a huge problem, trying to get that extra pick and just hold this ground to let their team come in. OBT still by the basket. They don't have the clams in just yet. That's going to be the end of their push, but they have back the lead. Now with 30 seconds left, Acropora needs to make a big push.
Now, yeah, they do have the football ready, the pity clam, which will completely eliminate their penalty. So after that, they really just need one more ball and one more clam. It's very doable, very doable. It's just a matter of actually getting there. They're slowly running out of time. 2 down now on the side of Oceanos. Mothman moving in with that power clamp. Some specials out. They are going to be... picked out and not able to open that basket. 2 down on the side of Acropora, 3 down on the side of Acropora, 4 seconds to go, locked in crab. That is going to be game for Oceanos.
Man, Acropora had it going there. They had a couple clams on the board. They had a push opportunity. They were unfortunately not able to get that clam in. And I think the key point of that was that junior. The junior was still so close to the basket. Usually you get forced out of there by all of the bombs and whatnot, but they had the bubble. That bubble was key to letting them hold that position, stopping the clams from coming into the basket. That's why the first clam didn't go in the first place. And that's just... a huge play or a bubble just being up for a tiny amount of time is absolutely massive. Oceanos coming in super clutch. And was that Wug on the junior?
Yes.
Yeah, Wug with a really good play there.
Yeah, Wug obviously name starting with W because they got the big dub for Wug. Love to see it. I mean, I'm so proud. Both these teams are fantastic. They both played incredibly well. And I mean, we didn't get to see a game 4. We almost did though. That last game, jeez.
Yeah, I would have loved to see a game 4. It looked like Acropora was starting to find their stride just a little bit there.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what, what makes LAN very exciting,
right?
Is that you really, you're just kind of dropped in this environment where you need to make a play. You need to, get this, get the win or make a big play happen, and you really only have one shot of it
Yeah.
every few months.
Yeah, it really is. And like that kind of adrenaline, that kind of energy really just doesn't happen anywhere else. Like, I mean, sure, there's majors online, but it's not the same as the LAN environment. The energy is so much more palpable here.
Yeah, I mean,
Touch
everyone
it.
everyone pops off.
Feel
People
it.
are yelling at each other. It's in a friendly way.
Yes, yes.
But it's very fun, and you can just feel both of the teams really just like having at it there. We can see a few replays from the set here over on that Rainmaker game. A really nice stop on the checkpoint. We saw this big push at the end for the knockout from Oceanos. They looked very dominant in the first few games. They managed to finish out the third game strong.
Yeah, it was just beautiful to watch. And honestly, from both teams, they did incredibly well. Oceanos was just incredibly dominant this set. They just seem to have it all together. They're playing, I don't know if they actually are a regular full-time team, but they're definitely playing like one.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've played together. I'm pretty sure I've at least seen their names together pretty frequently.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, I think they play with each other at least a decent bit. So
Yeah, they must.